it has been a little bit glitchy. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
It says connecting. You can probably see the same.
Yeah, it says that for me too.
Yeah. Come on now. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Empower Your Voice. This is a series of conversations I'm hosting all around how we express ourselves, how we listen into our inner voice, how we choose to communicate. And today I've got LouLou Storey as a guest, who is a personal stylist, and we're going to talk about how we express ourselves through what we wear. I think this is such an interesting subject. I mean, I know you do because it's your whole job. But it's can be so empowering. So I'm excited for us to have this conversation. Hello to everyone joining us live.
Hi everyone, and hi Tommy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I know
you're welcome.
Reminiscing about how we first met. So
I know
it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
So it's incredible to bring our worlds together today. So thanks.
I know, and you were such a gem because I was out at a festival running a singing workshop, hoping that people would just come and join us and share their voices and sing, and you were there with bells on. So I really appreciate that.
My reluctant, I think he was my husband at the time, or fiance or something, along.
He was there. He got into it. He got into it. So why don't you tell us about what you do and how you use your voice in your work and your life? Like, how does it show up for you?
I think self-expression and how I communicate has been a huge part of helping me understand myself and feeling that deep connection with who I am. And my work, I mean, I kind of call myself a style coach over, and even maybe a transformational style coach over a stylist, because it's really about developing people's understanding of who they are and their own internal, developing their own internal knowing about what works for them on their bodies, on who they are as people, and understanding that clothing isn't just about what is flattering, but it's about understanding how you express yourself and know yourself better, and understand the woman or the man that you want to evolve and become as you go through your life. So style is this amazing way of really helping you heal the past, be present in today, and then move into the future. So at the moment, I'm really using my voice as a way of kind of like helping people see that style is about visibility, not vanity, to see that it's really about it's a bloody important thing to take really seriously, and it's not frivolous. And that as a stylist, I suppose a stylist would come and tell you what's right for you, whereas I help people to develop as a coach, as a style coach, to develop what is right for them and help them to kind of uncover it, because I believe that we've all got an internal instinct about what is right for us and what's not. So really helping strengthening that instinct.
I totally agree, and there's so much crossover then actually in the work that we both do, because I'm often talking about getting people to connect with that inner knowing and listening in, and then I suppose the sort of vehicle for expressing that is what they're wearing in your context. So that's so interesting. So what do you notice? I think I want to think about more when someone's at the beginning of the journey with you, or what you tend to notice about people day to day. What do you notice about how people tend to express themselves in what they're choosing to put on each day? And let's look at the people that haven't had the amazing experience with you and come out the other side like, ta-da!
I mean, I think there's a variety of things. People come to me at very different stages. Often they're two extremes. They're either haven't been shopping in years and they're living in the same clothes they were wearing at university, despite being, successful in their careers, mothers, um, you know, incredibly capable people. They're still very much stuck, and often it's because their bodies haven't changed, so they haven't changed. It might also be that they're in a very functional life. Maybe they're very sporty, and therefore it's very much about function. And they kind of, if they're honest, they're still feeling a bit like their teenage self. So how do they come out of that? And then I think I get the other extremes, which is a lot of people who are actually probably from the outside, you would think are very stylish. They shop a lot, so they have the confidence and knowledge of brands and awareness of what to buy. But actually, they're in this cycle of consuming and not creating.
Mm,
And they don't actually, they're maybe a little too caught up in the trends and don't know themselves well enough. And they are my job is to help them start. So I have a method called the Storey method that helps them find their three style words, which is about the three energies that we want to hold within us, and have within us to then feel aligned and feel at peace in our skin. And often with them is that they're caught up maybe kind of doing other people's style and not themselves. So it's really about how do we maximize what you've already got, and how do we really start to put together outfits that feel authentic to them, and stop getting caught up in the comparison and just buying stuff just because it's beautiful, but actually about how do we make it function more in your life. So yeah, it's one extreme who need to help become consumers a bit more, and then
mm,
the other ones who need to be a bit more creators. Um,
mm,
it's always, I think, with style, it's about finding that balance. We do have to bring new things into our life. We have to be good at letting go of things. We have
yeah.
to be good at creating outfits from what we've got. You have to stay optimistic. You have to keep it moving forward. You have to keep it organized. And so often, somebody's wardrobe will really reflect what is maybe one of the skills that they're lacking.
Mm,
So it could be that they're very, very, they're very good at keeping it organized, but then nothing new flows in, and the energy can be quite stuck and controlled. Whereas
yeah.
other people, it's like all over the place and messy, and it's creative, and actually they need to find that balance. So it's all about, me coming in and helping them find the balance.
Yeah, that's so interesting because I think we take for granted how powerful what we put on because it's our skin, isn't it? If we get it right and it's really representing who we are on the inside, it should feel just like a second skin. Like, I am just me. This is who you're getting, not, oh, I have got clothes where you think, oh, that's a bit tight there, or, I want to feel like I could just dance around the room and feel like an absolute badass.
Exactly. And I think for a long time, this came from my own fight with myself and not trusting myself. Despite being in fashion since the age of 15 and in retail, my dirty secret was that I always found it easier to dress other people than myself.
Mm,
And I would feel quite self-conscious about my body, the shape of my body. I felt very self-conscious about, especially after having my daughter. Again, I think I got caught up in what I should be wearing, what I should have,
mm,
rather than actually feeling connected with, um, what was right for me. So I suppose there's a two-way conversation here with just regards to voice. With clothing, we all have a very strong internal voice that often needs upgrading,
mm.
improving, making more optimistic, making it feel more, I suppose, in a place of feeling that things are possible.
Yeah.
And we also have that external voice that kind of is unspoken of this is who I am, this is what I love, this is how you should kind of speak to me, really, set the tone before speaking.
Mm,
Really, really important how we hold ourselves and how we have that feedback from our clothes to change our posture and to how we move in the world is not to be underestimated. And so often we have a voice of like, well, it'll do, or it was okay last week, or other people are able to wear it, or I shouldn't think about this because it's frivolous. And therefore, we're just making ourselves smaller and smaller,
yeah.
smaller and smaller, when actually we want to be like taking up more space, being more visual, being more visible. Um, and that's not to say that it has to be crazy and bold. It just has to be your version of assured.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is like when we think of, I don't know, when I think of the word visibility and maybe for other people, if you're watching, actually share what you think. Like, when you think of someone who's really well styled, that looks confident and amazing, do we always think, oh, well, that's really bold angles or bright colors, like really tailored suit or very out there with color, or actually can we do it in a different way? Because all of our voices are totally different and unique to us. So what does that mean? Being visible, how would you describe what that means for different colors, different people, different, nuances?
Well, it's interesting. I'm really playing at the moment with the idea of, do I change the style words method to be called like the style energies? Because
Mm,
understanding your three energies. And there's a few ways about I do it to kind of help people find that clarity. And one of them is actually about getting clear on your favorite objects. So not clothing, but your favorite homeware objects. What pieces, what art, what vases? I mean, I'm literally surrounded, like the art in front of me. I could grab um
mhm,
like this, which I absolutely love, and I have a whole series of them.
yeah,
Now, if I was to describe this picture, I would describe my own style,
which is.
which is cool, elegant, and impactful.
Hmm.
I like art that's abstract. I like really intense pops of color, whether that's neon, but I also like things that are a little bit subdued. I've got that chill, are not overly try hard, a sense of ease. And so the way that I get people to discover their sense of style is actually by looking at their objects first. And if they struggle to find things in their home that they love, then that's a real sign that they have a very little sense of self, and that's what we really need to develop. And then often I'll say to them, right, I want you to tell me what your favorite coffee shop is, or go into this art gallery, pick a painting. What is it? Discover your favorite artists. Like, how do we start to really get clear on who we are and what we're drawn to? Because if I was to take 50 people into an art gallery, they'd probably all choose something different.
Yeah.
So rather than being told that, the past has all been with stylists, has all been about like, know your colors, know your body shape, know the rules, and then you'll understand yourself. And
Yes.
I always struggled with that because I'm like, how do you know me better than me? And then it would always be like giving the authority over to someone else that they know me
Mhm.
better. And I'm really interested in how do I help somebody to own the authority and to start developing it within themselves. Um, so I find that by going through a favorite object that and getting them to describe that rather than describing themselves, we suddenly connect with what they need themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
They suddenly realize they need something that's more natural or more feminine, and they would have never chosen that word.
Yeah. Yeah, but you'd also never choose the things on the rail that are the things that are in your house. It's such a great way to connect people, isn't it, when it's external? Like
Yeah.
you're not taking away the emotion because we can be connected to the objects in that way, but it takes away that sort of oh, uncomfortable feeling of it being, yeah,
It also takes away the shoulding.
yes,
I
exactly.
should be style, and then you just get such generic words because you then someone will say, "Well, I want to be stylish." Well, of course,
Yeah.
everyone
But
wants to be
also,
stylish.
I love how your words are quite contrasting. Like, I would never have thought to put elegant and impactful together.
But this is the thing: the words have to be contrary.
Right.
So you find that if somebody's quite classic in their style, the words will probably feel similar, but they have to feel like three different energies.
Hmm.
We all have these different parts of us, our past element, our present element, and our future. These three different energies that are always playing. And often what happens is when you work with someone, two of the energies are very prominent and one is not happening. The other thing to kind of say is that these three words are basically answering the questions of how do you want to feel,
Mm.
which is often the opposite of your shame in your body.
Hmm.
So for me, dumpy. So the opposite of that is elegance.
Hmm.
How do I want to be perceived? Growing up, for me, I never felt cool, part of the right pack. I mean, it's ridiculous, but that inner child within
Yeah,
me
yeah.
needs that. And I didn't have the ability to realize I was a creative. I was at a very academic school. Like, I didn't embrace that creativity. And I suppose cool for me has this kind of like, I know my shit. I
Yeah.
know about this world. I'm tapped in. I have that confidence that this is me. So that is like my perceived. And then the final question is, how do you want to grow? And that for me is around impact, and the words are not just how I dress, it's who I'm being as a woman.
Mm,
I want to have impact in the world. I want to change women's lives. I want to show people that this is just a really fun, creative, playful way of stepping into your power.
yeah.
And then I think the other element with that is once you know your words, you can really hold yourself to a standard about why you keep something or why you let something go, how you want to behave in the world. Again, for me, cool, I've later found out in life is really linked to my desire for peace. I never realized that peace was such an important part of what I needed.
Hmm.
And it's chilled. It's like not overly stressing. It's going with the flow. I've really been doing a lot of internal work on letting go of being the pusher, and just allowing life to unfold more. So again, the words I've taken on this extra dimension of
Mm.
like of the woman I'm stepping into, and therefore the voice I'm having in my life.
Yeah, and I love how it almost becomes a mantra then. It's not just about the clothes that you're putting on each day, it's like the energies you want to bring into each day. I love the idea of it being energy, and it's so intuitive as well. I wonder if everyone watching's gone around their house like thinking, "Oh yeah, what do I like?" Like I'm in front of this humongous plant, and I've got plants everywhere these days. It's my middle-aged woman moment of just house plants everywhere, but I would never think green or plants or that in
But
my style.
But think about even just the texture of your top, it's so natural. And
Yeah.
something about you've got a very kind of feminine but interesting and modern shape, but on a very classic, gingham.
Yeah.
So I would be really interested to like, what is it about that plant? Like, if you were to think about all the plants in your life, which one is your favorite? And why? Like this, obviously, if you were to choose the plant behind you, it's a very sculptural shape. It's very distinctive,
Mhm.
got bold energy. It's very present in the room.
Mm.
There's a lot of things that you can start saying even about a plant
Yeah.
that suddenly you think, oh, okay, okay,
Yeah. But then I can show you on the other side, I've also got a bit of art that I think totally represents me, which is bold colours.
yeah.
So much creativity. There's like music in it, layers. So yeah, I can see
So you
how.
can see like natural is one energy,
Yeah.
creative is another.
Yeah.
And then I would wonder if there's a sort of your real like if there's a femininity something
Mm. Well,
around.
I started wearing much more colour, having done a bit of work around my season, which I came away with spring, but I know there's like different types of spring and many layers to that whole process.
Yeah.
But it has been hugely helpful in I got rid of all the black in my wardrobe. I just and like sometimes I need black. Like if I've done like a singing gig in the last few years, it's like everyone's in black. I'm like, I don't have any anymore. I chucked it out.
Do a little
But
French navy maybe?
well, yes, well this is it. So that would be my sort of dark neutral color now.
Or a smoky grey?
Yeah, it's totally shifted my energy that I feel so different. And even just that little shift has made it so much easier to buy and choose things. But with the way you're talking about it, I'm like, okay, no, there's way more layers to what I could be doing with what
Um,
I'm wearing.
yeah, and when it comes to colour, I don't do the colour drapes, but colour is a big part of the conversation. But look at the things that you've just pulled out. I mean, they're very, they've got real spring energy, haven't they?
Yeah,
So
100%. And I notice that now.
I really, really believe that instinctively we know what the colours that work for us.
Mm,
Yeah.
but the thought that, if we're following trends or what looks good on celebrities or whatever, of course you end up feeling so stuck because you think, well, that's not what I look like and that's not what I've got in my wardrobe. But yeah, this idea of just stepping away from that altogether is really nice. You've given us so much to think about already, but say we have a bit of a look around at objects, we think about those three words, what would be the most direct way to maybe express that? If we wake up tomorrow to get dressed, what would be your bit of advice about what to do with what we've noticed? that we've picked up from.
Okay. Well, I would say definitely come and book, obviously, a style words consultation with me, a 90-minute session, and we can get your words perfectly clear.
Yeah.
And I would say if you're kind of even if you're kind of identified an energy for going into August and you say, I want to feel more vital, or I want to feel more dynamic, or I want to feel more um, calm, for instance, whatever that one, even if you just can hone in on one word, I would say to you is probably pull out the pieces that speak to that. Even if it's something as simple as a scrunchie,
Mm,
even if it's something as simple as a piece of jewelry, because often it can be those little accessories. And then I would say have a play with them.
mm,
Allow yourself that the amazing thing about you know, diving into your wardrobe is it's like we're able to kind of be kind of very responsible with it, as in we're organizing ourselves, we're preparing ourselves for our grown-up lives, but then also it allows you to be that playful kid. Put 20 minutes in the diary and just allow yourself to try lots of different combinations on, try lots of outfits, and just start recognizing when something isn't right, what I would call your alarm words are ringing.
mm-hmm,
What alarm bells are going off? Well, I feel a bit dumpy, I
mm,
feel frumpy, I feel mumsy, I feel uncool, I feel too much, I feel too little. Like, it's too creative, it's too, like often one thing that comes up with people who want a bit of creativity is they suddenly start to feel a bit too TV presenter. And so it's how do we bring in what the antonym, the opposite, and really looking at like tuck, cat, tuck, connecting with that instinct. And if
mm-hmm,
you don't know where that instinct is, then again, the reason the object is so clever is it gives you a feeling.
mm,
So when you look at that, your painting or your plant, where does it land in your body? Where do you have that sense of that, yeah,
yeah,
that satisfaction? But don't ignore that feeling.
yeah,
Just connect with it and to like make sure that you're kind of you're listening into that and really, yeah, put those pieces to one side that are the energy and just see if you can play with them.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's a lovely final thing to say is listening in and trusting yourself, because the noise of critical voices, things we think we should be doing, should be wearing. Actually, if you can connect to the feel. And I love this idea of just being playful, because there's been so many times where I'd wear certain things together for years and then you go, oh, what if I put that with that? Oh, that looks cool, or that feels different, or now I like that because I didn't like it before, but with something else it's different. So yeah. um Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful. Thank you for
How can
putting this
people
work.
find you easily? What's the best place?
So I'm on Substack. It's slowly, it's a space that I'm slowly growing, but I have got the Style Club, and I give um every 6 months people get a free workshop with that to really check in on their style as part of the subscription, and there's lots more to come with that. I'm all over Instagram. I've actually had a challenge this month posting every day in July. So
Hmm.
I'm Lulu, spelled LOULOU, and then Storey, STOREY, underscore stylist, so come find me there. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much on every platform. So you should.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Just find your name and find you. Well, yeah, thank you so much. And thanks for everyone watching. And if you've caught the replay, share with us, what objects are you suddenly noticing around your house? What words are coming to you? What are you sensing? We'd love to hear. And yeah, thank you. Bye, everyone.